What if every choice you've ever made, what to study, who to love, even why you clicked this video, was never really yours? What if your entire life has been unfolding exactly as it was meant to, written long before you were born? This is the mystery of free will, the question of whether we truly make our own choices, or simply follow a hidden script. For centuries, this question has shaped philosophy, religion, and science. So, are we in control, or just passengers watching the show? Imagine the universe as a giant game of billiards. If you knew the exact position and speed of every ball, you could predict every bounce forever. This is determinism, the idea that everything follows a chain of causes stretching back to the Big Bang. In this view, you and I are just patterns of atoms obeying physical laws. If a supercomputer had measured every particle at the start of time, it could predict every thought, every decision, and this very moment, right now. Your decision to watch this video. It might not be a decision at all, just the universe playing itself through you. However, quantum physics changes the story. At the tiniest scales, particles don't move in fixed paths. They exist in clouds of possibility and only choose a position when observed. That means reality has true randomness, not just complexity, but events without a clear cause. Does that randomness give us freedom? Maybe. It breaks strict determinism. But randomness isn't the same as control. If your brain's particles act by chance, that's not you choosing, that's just luck. So we move from being ruled by the past to being tossed around by the present. Neither feels like freedom. When we talk about mind and consciousness, here's where things get even stranger. In quantum mechanics, observation changes reality, the famous observer effect. But what counts as an observer? A machine, a scientist, or consciousness itself? Some theories suggest that our awareness plays a role in shaping what becomes real. If that's true, maybe our minds do influence the world. But if not, perhaps we're only watching it unfold. Either way, consciousness remains the biggest wild card in the universe. Next, we are going to talk about the emergent self. To understand this, we need to look at emergence, how complexity gives rise to new properties. A single water molecule isn't wet, but billions together feel wet. In the same way, billions of neurons create something new. For example, you. Free will might not exist at the level of atoms, but it can emerge at the level of the mind. Your brain's network creates awareness, thought, and choice. No single neuron decides, but the system as a whole does. Here, you are not a spectator. You're part of the process, shaping and being shaped at the same time. What neuroscience says about reality? Still, experiments suggest our brain acts before we're aware of choosing. In the 1980s, researcher Benjamin Libet found that brain activity begins milliseconds before people consciously decide to move. Later studies could even predict choices seconds in advance, so maybe our sense of deciding is the story our mind tells after the fact. Yet Libet also proposed free won't, the ability to stop an impulse before it happens. Perhaps freedom lies not in making every choice, but in choosing which ones to resist. How can we find meaning beyond our control? If our biology, upbringing, and circumstances shape us, how free are we really? This idea can sound scary, but it can also create compassion. When we understand how much of our behavior comes from hidden causes, we judge less and empathize more. Philosophers like the Stoics found balance. Life pulls us forward like a cart tied to a rope. We can't control the cart, but we can choose how we walk with it. Freedom is not in events, it's in our attitude toward them. Religious traditions also echo this. In Islam, destiny and free will coexist. God knows the path, but we're responsible for our choices within it. In Christianity, God grants choice, yet knows every outcome. Both suggest that meaning exists even when control is limited. But what's all this paradox of freedom? So, what does all this mean? Even if free will is partly an illusion, the experience of choosing still matters. It drives learning, kindness, and responsibility. Determinism doesn't destroy meaning, it invites understanding. When we see life as a web of causes we didn't choose, humility grows, and so does empathy. You realize that success, failure, kindness, and cruelty all arise from forces deeper than we know. And yet, within those limits, your awareness, the ability to reflect and act, might be the truest form of freedom we have. So, what do you think? Are you truly choosing, or just watching yourself choose? Share your thoughts below. And if this sparked something, feel free to like and subscribe for more explorations of the mind, science, and philosophy.